Crafters, it's Rachel from Never Not Crafts, and this tutorial is the second in our Learning to Crochet series, where I will go over the single crochet. This can also be abbreviated as SC. Please note that I am teaching this in US standard terms. In the UK, it is called a double crochet, abbreviated as DC. I will be using a weight 4 yarn and size 6mm crochet hook. Let's get started. In our first video, we went over the slip knot and chaining. Let's quickly review this before we begin. If you want to see our first video, there's a link in the description below, or click the eye icon. So the first thing we do is we're going to fold our yarn in half, like so. Then you're going to take your end and fold it over. Then you're going to take your bottom string, which is also attached to our ball. You're going to loop it through like so. You're going to pull it tight. So that's how you do a slip knot. Then you're going to take your hook, you're going to pull it so it's nice and snug on there. So it still moves a little bit, but it's not too tight and it's not too loose. Then you're going to take your yarn in your hand and wrap your pinky and your ring finger. You're going to grab your piece of work with your middle finger and your thumb, okay? Your hook's going to face up. It's going to loop around your yarn. You're going to twist it until it faces down, and then you're going to pull through, okay? We're going to do a total of 10 chains. So up, around, down, so that's 2. So if you see these little V's, those count as 1 chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we have a total of 10 chains, and it is time to start the single crochet. So in order to start the single crochet, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip the chain that is closest to the hook. So we're going to skip this, and we're going to go into our second chain here, okay? So we're going to take our hook, we're going to go through that first, underneath that first loop, okay? So you see that right on there. Now on the back, just so you know, there's these little bumps. Sometimes a pattern will call you to insert your hook into these bumps. So just be aware of where they are asking you to do it, but normally you're going to be skipping that first chain to your hook, go into the second and into that hole right there. So your chain, into your chain we go. We're going to do the same thing as we do when we chain. We're going to start with our hook facing up. We're going to wrap around until it turns down. We're going to pull through. So now there's 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, so start with your hook facing up, around, down, and you're going to go through both loops, and that is the single crochet. Okay, let's do that again. So into this hole right here, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. So now there's 2 loops, yarn over, and pull it through both loops. Perfect. So as you can see, we have those same V's that show up as our, and those are counted as our stitches. We did 1, 2 stitches. So we're going to insert our hook into that little space, yarn over, pull through both. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Now as you can see, as I'm working, I'm keeping my middle finger and my thumb on the stitch that I'm working. So it's holding it in place as I'm working through it. So as you can see that hole right there, we're going to enter, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Insert, yarn over, pull through both. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. So let's count how many stitches we have so far. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we've completed our first row of single crochet. So let's go on to the next row. So before we turn our work, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to flip our work. So now so the bump side is facing us, okay? Now the most important thing to note that when you're doing this crochet is that this first chain does not count as a stitch, okay? So our first crochet is actually going to go in this hole right here where that chain came out of, okay? Now if you look at the top view, there are 2 loops that are on the top of this hole right here, okay? Now the number one thing that most crocheters do is they only go through either one of the loops, or they go in through the back and only do the back loop. Now there's a time and a place for that if a stitch calls for it, but if you're just doing normal crochet, you're actually going to go under both of those loops that are right here, okay? So we're going to stick our hook inside underneath both of those loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through twice. Now that counts as our first stitch, okay? Insert, remember we're going to go under both of those loops of yarn, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Insert, yarn over both. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. And we're just going to keep doing this and until our work meets a certain length. So that is 2 rows of our single crochet. Let me do a couple more rows and then I'm going to teach you how to count the amount of rows that you have. Here I've done a couple more rows, and the way you count them is you count how many lines you have. So here's 1 line, here's a second, here's a third, here's a fourth, and here's a fifth. Okay, let me stretch it out a little bit so you can see it better. You see how you have those 5 lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 rows completed. And it's important that you keep track of how many you're going across, how many stitches you have going across, and how many are going up and down, just so that you're not having anything wonky happen to your stitches. You have now completed the single crochet. In the next video in the series, we will go over the US double or UK triple crochet. If you liked our video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe to get an update on our content. See you in the next video!